Welcome to The Explainer. You know, Pride and Prejudice was written over 200 years ago, but somehow it still feels so sharp, so relevant. It's kind of crazy, right? So what's the secret sauce? Well, today we're going to dig into this masterpiece and figure out exactly what makes it tick.
And Jane Austen, she just sets the whole stage from the very first sentence. This line, it's so iconic, right? But it's not just the start of some simple love story. No, this is the opening shot. It's a brilliant, witty takedown of the whole social scene, money, class, and what was basically the marriage market in Regency England.
So, what is it? It's not just the romance, you know? What really grabs you are these characters who are just so real, and their timeless struggle. You know, that fight between a first impression and what's actually true. So let's get into it. Let's uncover the genius behind one of the most beloved novels ever written.
Okay, so Austen just dives us right into this world where, for women like the Bennet sisters, marriage isn't really a choice. It's basically their job. Their entire future depends on it. And for their mom, Mrs. Bennet, a rich single guy showing up isn't about love. It's all about strategy.
And we see this through characters like Mr. Bennet. He is just brilliantly cynical. He sees the whole thing as absurd, and Austen uses his razor-sharp wit to totally expose how ridiculous the marriage market is. His dry comments on the perfect foil to his wife's, well, her frantic, completely over-the-top matchmaking.
So right away, this core conflict gets set up. On one side, you've got Elizabeth's best friend, Charlotte Lucas. She's a total pragmatist. For her, marriage is simple. It's a transaction to get a comfortable home. But then you have Elizabeth, who's like, no way. She is not about to trade her happiness and self-respect for what someone else calls a good match.
And this tension, this whole pragmatism versus idealism thing, it is about to absolutely explode at the Meriden Ball. This is it. This is the moment where the title of the book, Pride and Prejudice, just comes roaring to life, all because of one spectacularly bad first impression. So in walks the rich, handsome Mr. Darcy, and right away, terrible first impression. He won't dance, doesn't want to meet anyone. He's just kind of stalking around the room, basically oozing this proud, I'm better than all of you vibe. And then we get to the moment. His buddy Bingley points out Elizabeth, and Darcy drops this incredibly insulting line. And key detail, he says it loud enough for her to hear. And just like that, in a single instant, his pride creates this immediate, deep-seated prejudice in Elizabeth. It's the spark that lights the whole fire. And that's it. The battle lines are officially drawn. Now, Elizabeth is hurt, for sure, but she's also resilient. She immediately decides, okay, I want nothing to do with that guy. The entire conflict of this novel, literally everything, kicks off from this one proud comment and the prejudice it creates. All right. Before we get to the big emotional climax of the story, Austen gives us a little, let's call it a warm-up. We get two of the most unforgettable proposals in all of literature, and both of them are just absolute masterclasses in what not to do. First, you've got the absolutely ridiculous Mr. Collins. His proposal to Elizabeth isn't about love. Not even a little bit. It's a checklist. He's literally like, okay, reason 1, I should set an example for my parish. Reason 2, it'll make me happy. Reason 3, my rich patronist told me to. It's a business pitch. And of course, she shuts him down completely. Now, Darcy's proposal, it could not be more different. This one is full of real, genuine passion. You can hear it in his voice. He struggled against his feelings. He can't fight them anymore. It feels like this is going to be the perfect, sweeping, romantic moment until he keeps talking. So in the same breath that he's telling her how passionately he loves her, he's also listing all the reasons he shouldn't. Her family isn't good enough, her social status is beneath him. It is just an unbelievable mix of passion and pride. And Elizabeth, who's already completely prejudiced against him, just unleashes. She hits him with everything, ruining her sister Jane's happiness and his supposed cruelty to Mr. Wickham. It's a total disaster. This whole explosive showdown just leaves Darcy completely stunned. But here's the thing. Instead of just walking away, he does something that changes the entire story. He decides to answer her accusations, not with more pride, not with more arguments, but with cold, hard facts. He writes her a letter. And this letter, it just systematically, piece by piece, dismantles everything Elizabeth thought she knew about Mr. Wickham. That charming victim she felt so sorry for?
Turns out he was a manipulative gambler who, and this is the real bombshell, tried to run off with Darcy's 15-year-old sister just to get her giant inheritance.
Hearing this just shatters Elizabeth's entire world. She has to face her own prejudice head-on. She realizes that the one thing she prided herself on, her ability to judge people, was completely and totally wrong. She was blind. And this moment of really painful self-awareness, that's the real climax for her. It's the moment everything changes.
And that right there, that moment of self-realization, that's exactly what makes Elizabeth Bennet such an unforgettable character. It's her ability to grow, to admit she was wrong, combined with that fiery spirit she has. That's what makes her a truly timeless heroine.
You know, an analysis in the book's preface really nails this. It says her charm isn't just about her being playful or witty, it's something more. It's a certain fearlessness, which was just so rare for a female character back then. This is a woman who is not easily intimidated. And really, it's the mix of all these traits that makes her so compelling, right? The playfulness and wit, that's kind of her shield and her sword. But it's her affection for her family and that deep-down fearlessness that gives her the guts to actually challenge the super rigid social rules and, the powerful people who are trying to control her life.
And we see this fearlessness put to the ultimate test when the intimidating, super powerful Lady Catherine de Bourgh shows up and tries to bully her into submission. But does Elizabeth back down? No way. She calmly and firmly stands her ground and basically says, I have a right to my own happiness, which, for a woman in her position at that time, was just an incredibly radical thing to do.
So, after 200 years, what is it that truly makes a character unforgettable? I think what Pride and Prejudice tells us is that it's not about being perfect, it's about having the ability to change. It shows us that a real connection isn't about some flawless first impression, it's about having the courage to look at your own flaws. In the end, it seems the only thing that can really beat Pride and Prejudice is a little self-awareness.